Hi everyone, welcome back to another video here on the Conscious Carnivore Collective. Today I'm very honored to be joined by Lindsey Morgan,
Hi.
who is a world-renowned actress.
Yeah, definitely.
She's best known for playing Raven on CW's The 100. You know, she's always busy filming, so I'm very honored to have her here. You know, it took weeks.
Guys,
of
weeks.
Had to go through 5-6 bodyguards to get her here.
Yeah. A lot of red tape.
But yeah, so very honored to have her here today. We're just gonna have a little chat and just to get to know her a little bit better. And she's also one of our Meatme advocates, so we're gonna get to know her a little better today. So, thank you for being here, Lindsey.
Thank you, James.
So, why and how did you start to look for sustainably sourced meats, and what made that change?
Well, I grew up in Texas, so I've always been a big meat eater. I love steak. It's just been very much part of my life growing up. So I realized I was having some health issues this last year. Internally, I had some really bad skin issues, and I also had some digestion issues. And I couldn't figure out why. I went to dermatologists and specialists, and it wasn't until I went to a naturopath, which is like a holistic medicine doctor, healer.
Yeah.
And she did this really interesting frequency test on me about how different foods can cause chronic inflammation or stress on your internal organs. So, she did it, and I found out a lot of answers, but her recommendation was it's so important to eat organic and to eat grass-fed and to eat more organic meat, even more so than vegetables or produce or fruits, because the muscle, like the meat that we consume, you're consuming what that animal consumed. So if you're trying to be healthy and eat like protein, but your animal ate like cereal, which is basically what they feed a lot of cattle, you're basically eating cereal. So Fruit Loops.
Yeah.
So might as well have Fruit Loops. So I just thought it was very interesting. But then, the more I was looking into it, I came across, the more humane ways of animal raising and farming, and it's something that I think people take for granted. You go to the grocery store and you see meat. You don't see an animal, you don't see a slaughterhouse, you don't see the way they're raised, you don't see any of that. So it's very easy to be blind to it all. And, of course, I would never spurn judgment on anyone that doesn't buy organic meat or whatnot. But it was just kind of a turning point for me, from a health point and then become a ethical standpoint, because the more research I did, the more just kind of shocked I was about animal raising, especially in the States, because I am American, just kind of the way that it's mass birthed and grown just to be killed. So, I just kind of wanted to go back to what I felt good about and the basics of this animal was raised and had a nice life, and that's why I love the Meatme company, because you guys work with local farmers that humanely kill animals for food, which is kind of what we all started out doing in the first place.
Yeah. Well, what do you think is a one thing or a few things that are stopping people from finding these ethically or sustainably sourced meats?
A few things, and I'll be honest first, because this was my initial drawback, is one, finding it. Because it's hard to find. It's not as available as other meat. Two, it's expensive, or you assume it's expensive. So you're kind of like, do I really want to pay that much more? Yeah. Et cetera, which is the exact same reasons why I, didn't buy organic or ethically raised meat myself. And then also, because you don't know. I don't know how they were killed. I don't know. I didn't realize the truth of it. I didn't realize the importance of organic meat. And so it's another reason why I love your company so much, is because A, you bring it to us, so I don't have to look for anything.
Call out the farmer.
I don't have to do shit. So great.
We got you, man.
Right? B, you guys are incredibly well priced. It almost blows my mind, because look, I'm kind of a savvy shopper, and so it's like I would compare your prices to, say, like Whole Foods or Urban Fare here, and it's way more buying you know, multiple chicken breasts or multiple steaks at Whole Foods and Urban Fare than it is with y'all's custom boxes and subscription boxes. So I was like, done. And then, you know, lastly is now that I know and now that I'm educated about the health reasons and the ethical reasons, it's really hard for me to go back. It's really hard for me to turn a blind eye again.
Yeah. No, I think you brought up a lot of good points. I think for me too. I mean, I just started Meatme as well, and obviously price is huge, right? You see like 10 chicken thighs for like $7 in saving.
It's great. Like I almost wish the people. I wish they knew. Like I was shocked going on y'all's website, and I was like, sorry, wait, what? We get like this much for this?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Like you really should do like a comparison. I'm not gonna tell you how to do your job, but I'm gonna tell you how to do your job right now.
Prices. Just blame her. It's all her fault.
Anyways, you really should do like a comparison. Like go to Whole Foods, get the same like bulk of amount of food, and then compare it to what you guys offer. Oh, and the delivery. Like throw that in. That's time. That's gas. That's everything. Like. I don't know.
Yeah.
Look, I'm sold.
Yeah. You want a job? Be like a
I'm very much big fan.
Yeah.
Big fan here.
I mean, for us, we want to make it as accessible as well. We're on top of educating people on like getting these things, right? So even if you know it, but if we price it at like $20 for one chicken breast, like no one's gonna buy it.
Well, no, of course.
Yeah.
But they do price that.
Yeah. Like Whole Foods.
At Whole Foods, you know.
Yeah. That's why
choices.
Never go to Whole Foods.
I mean, I love Whole Foods. I love you.
Yeah.
But I get my meats wrong.
Yeah. Cool. And you know, we're always talking about becoming a more conscious carnivore, a more conscious consumer. What does that mean to you?
That means to me being a conscious carnivore and conscious consumer, because I've had a lot of. It's been interesting, really, on the Instagram, people's reactions to when I posted kind of a big storyline about Meatme and about everything, and people, I got a lot of responses of like, you should just be vegetarian or you should be vegan, and I totally respect that. And look, I think that's a great option for some people, but my body and just kind of the way I am, I just work better with animal protein. Like I just have always done so, and I like it. So, if I'm going to be a carnivore, might as well be a conscious one. And that to me means doing whatever I can to make sure whatever animal it's sacrificed its life for me to live my life, had a nice life before it died, which look, if we all just did that and if all demanded that, then all the animals would be happy. And it's like, animals have to die the same way we have to die. I think, let's let them have as beautiful of life as they can. And then let it naturally, or as hopefully more naturally occur. And as far as being a conscious consumer too, that goes with everything what we spoke about as far as being educated on the health benefits for your body. Like, food is fuel, and that's what you're, I always attribute to, you are like a Ferrari. So it's like, would you just put crap in your Ferrari? No. So A, that. B, be smart with your financial and budgetary decisions. And if you just did a little bit more research, you'd be saving a ton of money. C, I think if there's a way you can help the planet, because ethically farmed animals also is a huge help for environment alone. Like the mass, I'm not an expert in this, but just like the mass farming industry is a huge carbon footprint just on the atmosphere and everything. So look, those are my kind of pillars of how I feel about that.
No, I think you brought a lot of good points. I think the fact that you mentioned, sure, we are a little bit more expensive, and the way we sort of frame it is priced a little bit more. So you're less incentivized to buy more meat. So eat less meat, but eat more quality meat.
Wow, I like that.
So that's one side of things. And I'm sure you got a ton of comments too, because every time we post something on Facebook about what we're about, and we don't want to go into the entire debate of okay, be a vegan, be a vegetarian versus be a meat eater, because I think that middle ground really is like, if you respect, like just like you, we and me personally, we respect people who are vegetarian or vegans.
Great.
But I think they should also respect that we want meat in our diets. And I think that middle ground is just knowing where your meat comes from, making sure that it had a good life, making sure it's sustainably sourced, and also a lot, if vegans or vegetarians, like the ones that post just hateful comments on our posts, if they take the time to actually learn about what we're actually pushing for, which is like, there are studies about how some farmers are practicing regenerative farming, which actually takes carbon from the atmosphere and puts it into the ground. So it's actually reversing things that affect climate change. Yeah, exactly.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so things like that, like if people actually took the time to see what our farmers are doing, this is why we don't have like 20 farmers on our site. This is why we don't work with every single farmer.
You guys choose very specific farmers that hold up the same values you do, which is fantastic.
Yeah. So I mean, you probably got a ton of comments, but
I got, it was fascinating because I got such a spectrum, and from comments of like other people being like, oh, this is cool, I want to try it, or oh, this is amazing, or oh, this is so cheap. Like, people really were on the gamut about it all, and look, I'm a very big non-judgment person, but I'm just one to share what I like and what works for me, and I think what you guys do is just fantastic on all spectrums. So thank you.
Yeah. So on top of being, we spoke about being a more conscious carnivore, a more conscious consumer. How else, besides your dietary choices, how else are you striving to be more conscious as a carnivore or as a...
I'm trying to just be more conscious about everything I've been putting in my body. I had these health scares, and it shocked me because I was shook because I always thought I was a very healthy, very active person, and it was all of a sudden kind of what it was, like my body just started hitting walls, and it was like I was getting sick constantly. I couldn't work out. All I could do was sleep. Like, it was just like something internally was going wrong. And I had a really hard look at like the things I was putting in my diet, and look, it was pretty good, but like, I'm human, and there was too many protein bars in there.
Like Quest bars.
Love Quest bars.
It tastes too good to me.
It's like candy. So I'm like, all right, I gotta deal with that. And I wasn't really looking at where my meat was. I wasn't looking at how I was cooking things. I also wasn't looking at, how it's packaged. So now it's like I'm trying to do all organic, healthy fats and oils. I don't restrict any food groups because I was doing that. And then I realized like, no, your body needs to operate. It works better with variety. And so do all that, but highest quality I can find. And also, I really changed the way that I'm packaging my food. I basically don't use my microwave anymore because that harms your food cells. A lot of glass. I'm trying to do all glass. I'm trying to do alkaline water. And I shot a movie in Lithuania, of all places, this last summer. And the most interesting thing about that experience was, I was working like crazy in these crazy hours, but my skin was doing really well, and I was like, how is this happening? I have all this makeup, a ton, because we had like special effects makeup too. I'm not sleeping, I'm stressed, like, how is this happening? And I realized, it's like, oh, in Lithuania, it's only little farms. Like, every grocery store is just from a farm. And so it was the produce, it was the meat, it was the water. And I just realized, like, it shocked me as far as like what we've gotten used to in North America. And America's different than Canada too, I will definitely say. America's food standards are much lower, and the FDA is much lower than the restrictions Canada does. So I think it's just the fact that we've gotten used to processed food, chemicals, food always readily available, packaged food like Quest bars or candy, water from the tap that you think is fine. Like, unfortunately, there was a lot of people that I don't know that did a lot of things for, I'm gonna say, money reasons, and stopped caring about the quality food and water that they're presenting to the people. And we as a people just took it because we didn't really know any better. So, long story short, I'm just trying to be more conscious about everything I'm putting in my body, because again, it's your Ferrari, it's your temple. You only get one, and it breaks. Because I had mine kind of break. So it really put things in perspective for me, and it is a little more difficult. I do have to plan my life more around it. but you know, I just feel so much better.
Yeah.
I feel so much better. I just think it's worth it for the longevity of your life and quality of life. So
I think building on that, you know, I think you mentioned a lot of times about how your Ferrari kind of broke down a little bit.
yeah.
So would health be the biggest impact, you know, since shifting to becoming a more conscious carnivore? Like,
Huge. It's been a 180 for me. And, you know, not to get too far off topic, but, you know, there's becoming a lot of studies now about your digestion and about your gut and how they consider it the third brain. And what you eat and how you process food affects your mood, affects your mental clarity, like intelligence, affects people like anxiety or depression. And you know, I think the more I just been focused on healing my gut and healing my internal organs from the inside out, just the better. I've just felt so much better overall. And you know, and it's interesting, like we're also incredible machines, so we can live a certain way and just deal with it. And the way I was living, I realized, wow, it can be so much better if I just fueled my Ferrari with the highest quality gasoline I could find. I can go so much faster, I can go so much longer. So, you know, it's worth it to me.
I actually love that analogy. I'm gonna steal it.
Steal it. Steal it.
Gotta put the high quality gasoline, guys.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I think you covered a lot of things there, so I don't want to take too much of your time. But before we finish, though, the floor is yours. So how can we learn more about you? How can we connect with you, learn more about what you do, and just stay connected? You're an awesome person. I think we can all learn from you.
Thanks.
And maybe we can slide in her DMs so we can say better things.
Thank you, James. I'm blushing. I'm mainly on Instagram. That's where you'll find me. It's Lindsey Morgan, one word, 2 Z's. And you know, catch the 100 when it comes back for season 7.
Awesome. Thank you again. Once again, my name is James. This is another video here on Conscious Carnivore Collective, the platform helping you to see more, know more, and learn more about where your meat comes from, how they're raised, so that we can all become more conscious carnivores together. All right, thank you again, Lindsey.
Thanks, James.
See you.
Bye.